Hello friends, SentinalhMC here, and welcome back to a RotaryCraft tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about the Afterburner upgrade for the jet engines, the gas turbines. I always call them jet engines, but they're technically gas turbines. This is the second time I'm recording this video. The first time I recorded it, the gameplay was all jittery and jumpy, and of course that was just not acceptable, so here I am doing it again, because I love you guys. Okay, so the Afterburner upgrade was not available when I first talked about the jet engine, or if it was, I didn't notice it and I never talked about it, so here we go. To craft the Afterburner upgrade, you will require a compound turbine, 4 bedrock dust, 2 ignition units, and 2 high temperature combustors. However, for some reason, the game has opted to move them. It should look like this: ignition units on the right, combustors on the left. Okay. Now the combustors, they do require, of course, the inductive ingots, so you do need a jet pulse jet furnace for it. But of course, you need that, I think, for the turbine in of itself. Yeah, because you need to get these, so that's not really an issue. Overall, the Afterburner upgrade requires more of this inductive ingot, but it actually requires, I believe, less overall tungsten and general steel, so it's a little bit cheaper in certain ways than building a second jet engine, and we'll take a look about why that matters in a bit. So I've got also, I had to generate a new world for this, and what the heck is this thing? It looks like a Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus. Does this thing come to life and attack you or something? Or, if somebody knows what this is, I would really appreciate it, because it's weird but awesome. Okay, back on topic. So we've got 2 gas turbines here. One of them does not have the Afterburner upgrade, one of them does. Now, to apply the Afterburner upgrade, all you have to do is right-click on a gas turbine and with it, and the back end of it will be colored this darker color, and that's how you know there's an Afterburner there. You can look and compare them both, and it's very obvious that one has the upgrade on it. Now, when the upgrade is on, this little Afterburner icon will have color in it. As you can see, it's lit up. And now you can click it. And when you click it, it lights up like that. And now the Afterburner is engaged. But you can always turn it off. Okay? So, there we go. On a normal gas turbine without that, the button is grayed out. You can't click it. It does look different. Significantly different to the one that has it on there. So you always know that it's got it on there. So, what does it do? Well, if we turn both of these on, and I'm sorry for the noise, but we're going to turn them on, and we're just going to let them spool up. Now, what you'll find with the Afterburner is that it doubles the torque output of the jet engine. Okay? So, it doubles the power output of the jet engine while keeping it at the same speed. This essentially gives you the power output of 2 jet engines, but taking up the footprint of only 1 jet engine. So you can start to see why this would be desirable. 1, because jet engines are really dangerous, so you probably don't want to have a ton of them sitting around. But 2, because, you know, if space is an issue, or if you just don't want to have a complicated powertrain with lots of junctions, the Afterburner could be, you know, an attractive option. Now, when the Afterburner is turned off, obviously the power values are identical. Just having it attached without having it on does not, you know, affect it in any way. If we look at these turbines, we can see that this one is going to be running for about 38 minutes, and this one will run for about the same amount of time. So, 38 minutes. Now, when we turn on the Afterburner, 2 things happen. It starts shooting fire out the back, which has glassed the dirt. The dirt underneath it has turned to glass. Now, it's not quite hot enough to melt stone into lava, but you are going to need to keep a very large area behind it clear. Okay? So it does have some downsides as far as that goes. The second thing that you'll see is that it takes a lot more fuel. This turbine will run for 38 minutes, while this turbine will now only run for a little under 15 minutes. Okay, so it's using more than twice as much fuel, and that's a bit of an issue, because it's a little less efficient than simply having 2 jet engines. But we can see why. It takes up less space, it's got a smaller footprint, the powertrain is easier to run, and it costs less resources, because an afterburner upgrade does cost, it is a bit cheaper in some resources than a second gas turbine. Plus, if you only have one gas turbine that needs to spool up, you know, it can make things a lot easier. Okay, so you're going to pay for that convenience by chewing through a bit more fuel than you would if you just built a second gas engine. Now, if we take a look, you can see that this one is producing 134 megawatts. That is indeed twice as much power as a standard gas turbine. So that's the afterburner upgrade. That's what it does. It doubles the torque, the speed stays the same, and it more than doubles the fuel consumption. Okay, it's not a whole lot more, but it is more than double. So it is less efficient than 2 gas turbines. Okay, just remember that. It is less efficient than 2 gas turbines, but you know, it might be worth it, depending on your situation. Just remember, you're going to want to, you know, keep the area behind it clear. Now, it's not lighting me on fire, but it did glass these blocks. So there we go. That's basically it. Now, if I was going to use the afterburner, I can't really decide, because, like I said, you could build a second gas turbine and it would actually save you fuel. And this big fire blast behind it isn't all that nice, depending on where you're going to place it. So if you're going to use the afterburner, you do need to plan out where you're going to place your turbine with that in mind. Because with a standard turbine, you don't have to worry about what's behind it. You can just block off the area in front of it, make sure you leave a block of space, otherwise it won't work. And then you can just have your whole base set up behind here and walk around behind it. But you don't want to do that with the afterburner, so be careful. Use a bevel gear, get the shafts out of the way of the back of it, so that you don't have, and then have this go off, you know, into a hole in the wall or something. I don't know. So that's basically it. Now, you can't put this on the micro turbine. You can't put this on the pulse jet. But you know, it's fine. This is an upgrade for the gas turbine, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. You know, because if you know, afterburners work by I think they work by reigniting unignited fuel. Don't quote me on that. Or reigniting, it somehow reignites the thing a second time, I think. That's why it's called an afterburner. But yeah, it doubles your power. It's pretty cool, pretty good. So anyway, that's basically it. I'm sorry for the short episode on an item that's, you know, pretty simplistic, but I have been quite busy recently. I'm planning a Christmas pageant, so that's been fun. It's a little bit of my own take on a Christmas Carol made very simple for children. So yeah, I've been busy. I've also been no life in Grim Dawn. If you want to see a Grim Dawn video, by the way, let me know. Also, on Saturday, we're going to have another cool Civ video. It's going to be, we're going to take a look at some more city designs, so that'll be fun. That video did really well, and I quite enjoyed it. So let me know in the comments what you want to see in the future. Let me know about machines and blocks and stuff that you want me to talk about in the series of RotaryCraft and ReactorCraft new tutorials. I still have to go through and figure out everything that's changed since like 2 years ago. So it's going to be a while. But anyway, just stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to join our Discord. The Discord's a great time, and the more people we have, the better, because now we're starting to have some, you know, a little bit of conversation. it doesn't help that a lot of people are in different time zones. But join the Discord, especially if you want to find out how you can play with us, because that's the best place to do that. And follow me on Twitter if you want to have updates about the videos coming out somewhere other than YouTube. I know there's been some talk recently about weird YouTube glitches that have been unsubscribing people from channels. So if you definitely want to get my videos, make sure you click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. That'll notify you when the video goes up. So anyway, I'm SentinalH, and I'm signing out.